Hello, I'm Bill Leipold, and welcome to this edition of Breakfast at the Barracks. Joining me today is Dr. Jaishankar Ganesh, Dean and Professor of Marketing for the Rutgers Business School, Camden. Jai, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
I want to jump right in. You do your research on customer satisfaction and the importance of that in terms of the business community. So can you talk a little bit about your research?
Sure. If you look at my most recent research interests and outcomes that have come out of it, I look at where do people buy, why do they buy, what is their value to the firm, how can we measure, capture, and retain the most valuable customers. So if you look at the business climate right now, acquiring customers is extremely important but also extremely expensive.
Right.
So once you have the customers acquired and they are yours, firms should do anything possible to retain them, but then are all customers worth retaining? That's a big question. So the whole idea of what is the lifetime value of a customer to a firm?
Okay.
So that is a big focus of my studies. So who do you acquire, who do you retain, why, and how do you go about doing that?
Well, one of the things you said is interesting. So how do you help a firm or a business decide who the valuable customer is, and how do you make the decision about, as you said, whether they're worth retaining?
Absolutely. There are multiple ways of going about that. Value is not that easy to measure. Yes, there is financial value in terms of what they buy, how much they spend. There are simple rules of thumbs, what we call simple models we use, which goes with recency. How recently have they purchased your products? Frequency, how frequently do they purchase within say a year or within a cycle, how often they purchase. And monetary value, what's the size of their monetary size of their purchases.
Okay.
So there are some simplistic models like that, but then there are other more complex ways of measuring a customer's lifetime value, which not only looks at their purchase patterns, but what is the word of mouth they spread. If I go and tell something good about the firm to my neighbor, to my friends, and they in turn go and become customers, I've actually served a much bigger role for the firm. So my value to the firm goes above and beyond just what I buy. So trying to capture that, model that, capture that, and then classify customers into various groups based on their value is a big aspect of today's marketing strategy approach.
So is there a big difference between how a big business like Walmart goes about doing that and a small business like an ice cream stand in South Jersey might go about doing that?
Absolutely. An ice cream stand in South Jersey might actually be doing it much better than Walmart. Because to be honest with you, when your customer base is smaller, you pretty much know people from face, from sight. The local mom and pop stores that used to be there knew almost everybody, every single customer of theirs by sight, by name. So it's easy to know who are the good customers, who are the customers who are speaking well of you, how to influence them is much easier. But then when you grow to be the Walmarts of the world, then the customers are databases, entries in your database. So how well I manage my database, how well I handle this information, how well I do this multi-point information gathering and correlate it, that's a key. And so hence it is definitely a different ball game at that level.
I would also think that retaining your customer is always important. I would probably believe that would be more so during a recession period or during an economic downturn in some ways.
That's very true. Absolutely, you're right, because retaining a customer is extraordinarily important. And during an economic downturn, the rubric that you use, the frequency of purchase or the monetary value of purchase might actually be lowered in some instances.
Right.
So you need to take into account that the customer's value goes beyond what they buy and also what they spread. So it's extremely important from the firm's point of view that instead of me cutting my cost, cutting my price, if I can retain my customers and keep my existing customers happy, actually my margins wise, profitability wise is much better for me than going about spending all the money acquiring new customers every single time particularly in this recessionary environment.
One of the areas that you alluded to was the word of mouth, the idea of the reputation, so to speak.
Yes.
While we can look at, as you said, databases, and as we can look at sales and returning, it really is honestly that reputation part, that word of mouth piece.
Absolutely.
How do you begin to even study or measure that kind of impact?
It's very interesting, you know, when you first start off by looking at word of mouth, there used to be more holistic measures. What we say is, when a new product gets introduced into a marketplace, how does it diffuse? How do people buy?
Right.
And there are mathematical models that capture this effect as one is due to what we call mass media effects.
All right.
The other is due to opinion leaders and word of mouth effects. So we call the coefficient of innovation and the imitation. So that used to be for a long time a holistic measure of word of mouth, or, you know, influence of others who have bought the product before you, and their positive word of mouth that makes other people buy. But now literature has gone really forward in this area. There are much more sophisticated models of measuring customers' word of mouth impact, and firms are using them actually in a big way. In a big way.
We're going to transition from talking about your research to your new leadership position.
Absolutely.
You joined the Rutgers Business School in Camden.
Yes.
A few months ago.
Yep, 4 months.
And so, in your short time there, kind of what are you thinking about some of the goals you want to accomplish, and kind of what are some of the things that you have on the horizon as somebody who's coming into the position?
If I have to crystallize into one single statement, what I would like to see happen at the Rutgers School of Business in Camden is making the School of Business the school of choice. The school of choice for all high school students in the South Jersey area, the school of choice for top-notch faculty talents who would like to move to Jersey, New Jersey, and to Rutgers, and school of choice for dedicated, involved staff people who would like to be a part of this growth. You know, what really got me attracted to the business school there and the campus is the level of engagement and involvement people had there when I visited them during my interview process. People were really committed to the place, and they wanted to do anything and everything possible to make the place the best possible place. In my 4 months after now that I've been there, it has just been more and more evidence that that's the case. Students who are there are extraordinarily happy with the faculty. There's a personalized feel and touch. It's a small campus. The campus all put is 6,300, and the School of Business is about 1,000 odd. You know, so it's a small campus, so the way we do things are very different. Now the question is, anybody who knows about this campus, student-wise, parents-wise, when they come and engage themselves, they walk out saying, wow, that's awesome, what's going on there is, you know, if you look at the student satisfaction scores across all 3 campuses, Camden is really top. Higher. Now the question is, how do you let lot more people know about who we are? You know, why should we be the best kept secret in Delaware Valley? And I look at it slightly more differently. Not just Jersey. Definitely we are the university in South Jersey, no doubt about it, Rutgers campus in South Jersey, but I think we need to go beyond Jersey. We need to go to Pennsylvania. We need to go to other aspects of the country and internationally. We have a global brand, and we have a great location. We need to be able to be a school of choice globally. So that is the whole goal ultimately, eventually.
It's interesting because business schools are really competitive among themselves. You know that. And you're in an area where there are not lots of other, but predominant business schools around you. What, besides the small, and I do agree with you, the small, intimate nature of the classes, the small, intimate nature of the program, what else is a big selling point for you around the Rutgers School of Business?
See, it's a great question. We are located, our location is both a strength as well as an opportunity as well as a challenge, definitely. We are sitting there, we are closest to downtown Philly.
Yes, you are.
As a school, not Wharton, not Temple, not Drexel, Rutgers Camden campus, the closest to downtown Philly. So if you look at it, there are so many good universities within a 10-mile radius of the downtown area. So what differentiates schools? Honestly, if you ask me, all these schools are exceptional schools, very good schools. Everybody does a good job. We do an exceptional job with our faculty. Our faculty are high research caliber faculty who produce good research, also excellent classroom teachers. Which I'm sure every other school there is going to say that from Wharton all the way down. Now the question then comes, where is the difference? To me, the difference is we have the global brand Rutgers. We have a global brand behind us, and we offer the brand in a very personalized form. So people who want to experience the Rutgers experience, campus experience, but in a more personalized form, that's what Camden's unique positioning allows us to do. So that I would say is the biggest differentiation.
One of the things that makes business schools successful is their integration to the community around them, and their integration with industry in that area to kind of bring theory to practice. How is currently the Rutgers Business School Camden doing that, and how do you kind of want to expand that a little bit more as you're working as the dean?
Absolutely. I will tackle this in two parts. Although they are interrelated, I like to view it as slightly different approaches need to be put in place to engage the local community and the local businesses.
It's very different.
Slightly different strategies are required. With the community, I can tell you one thing. I think Camden campus has been extremely, how do I put it? We have Wendell Pritchett as a chancellor, who is a very inspirational leader, whose vision is a big portion of it is civic engagement. So when I was interviewing here, he had come on board a year before, and he had already set the wheels on motion as to what should be the Camden campus's role in the surrounding community. How can we engage the community? How can we be true leaders in that area? And he has been doing an exceptional job there. So what is the business school doing? Business school is a big part of the chancellor's vision here. Think about it. The business school has a small business development center.
Who can help with folks in the community.
We have one of our major areas of scholarship is entrepreneurship and innovation. And we have an incubator on campus. So if we take these three pieces together, that's where the business and the community gets together. The entrepreneurship class, we have students doing projects with local businesses. So local businesses have some problems, issues.
So it's integration with.
Absolutely.
And on the job case studies.
Absolutely. So it's a win-win all the way around. Our students get to really work on a true blue live project. The local businesses get, benefit of getting consultations from the project outcome, which is chaired by or supervised by a faculty member who's an expert in that area. So it's a win-win all the way around.
You know what? I can't wait to bring you back on the show again. Unfortunately, we're way out of time. I want to bring you back to talk about some of your successes in a year or two. I'm really glad you made your way up today. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you so much for having me here, and I'll be glad to be back. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Well, for more information about any of the subjects we've discussed here today, please visit our website at rutgers.tv. For all of us at the Rutgers Division of Continuing Studies, I'm Bill Leipold, and thank you for watching.